r/AskReddit. What expensive thing was very, very cheap in the past? Lots of kinds of food. Chicken wings, chicken feet, lobster, crab, bologna. All of it used to be dirt cheap. Peasant food. Cost a ton now. Champion clothing. I remember you used to be able to get it at Walmart pretty cheap. Now it's more expensive than Nike, Under Armour, etc. Kale. Pizza Hut actually used to be the #1 purchaser of kale globally. If I recall correctly, they weren't selling it for consumption, though. It was garnish on the platform surrounding their salad bar. Tuition for residents at state colleges. Houses have never been cheap, but they were significantly cheaper in the past. On average in the UK it takes 7.6 times the average annual salary to afford a house. In 1997 it was 3.6 times the average annual salary, meaning it's more than doubled in 20 years. Skirt steak. It was cheap and was used for fajitas because it was cheap. Then fajitas became popular and skirt steak is not cheap anymore. I had a Mexican friend bitch about this all the time. Lobster. It is a bottom feeder, a trash eater. It used to be for the poor. Now it's expensive and a delicacy. Hand sanitizers. Bitcoin. Avocados. They used to be cheap where I live, but with the popularity of them in recent years, it's insane how much the price has gone up and how rare they are now. Dyeing. Dyeing used to cost nothing. Now it takes forever and costs a ducking fortune. Pretty sure universities. Back then you could get a part-time job and be able to pay your student loans off. Nowadays for most colleges that's not the case. Good education. Conversely, sugar used to be incredibly valuable cause of it being used to make rum. Ray-Bans and Doc Martinez. Used to pick up pairs of Ray-Bans like disposable glasses. Now they cost $200. Same with Docs. Under 50 quid now. The made in England ones cost almost £200. Cigarettes. Narcan. We used to give it away in the ED. It's now over $100 dose. Disgusting. Oysters were once a poor man's food in the Victorian era. Quinoa, chia seeds, acai berries, everything indigenous communities used to live off of before they became trendy diet foods in the West. Pho and banh mi. In the 90s and early 2000s you get a giant bowl of pho with all the fixins. Not sure how you say fixins in Viet. Pho like 5.00 or less. This was in Southern California, the largest Viet population outside of Vietnam. Now it's so ducking trendy that prices have basically doubled or tripled. Yes, I know food is more expensive now, but that's not really the reason for it being so much more expensive. Same thing with Mexican food from the truck. Back in the day, 90s and 2000s, 50-cent tacos and $3 burritos, and not any less tasty or filling than today's tacos for $6, burritos for $14. Okay, I'm done bitching everyone. As a whiskey lover, Henry McKenna 10. It used to be a very good $30.35 bottle, won a bunch of awards in 2019 and now is a $55.60 bottle. Milk. Remember when Bush said $3 a gallon and it was a laughing stock of a conference? Now it's upwards of $4 a gallon where I live at least. Fabric for sewing. Insulin. Belly pork and chicken wings. In fact I can remember local butcher giving my dad wings free as he had no market for them. Approx 10 years ago in UK. An old penny. Land. Practically used to give that shit away. GPUs. Thanks crypto. Uranium. I meant it came with science kits for kids. Salt in grandma's cupboard from 1965. Cars. Wobbly glass. My house is full of it, but a window was smashed and we found that wobbly glass would be extremely expensive, so we opted for modern glass instead. Caviar. Just being alive. $2K a month just for basic needs. Cigarettes. Nothing in them is actually that expensive. Most of what you pay when you buy a pack is taxes. Apple butter. Used to be considered a working class food. Now I go to the apple butter festivals and they can run $8 to $12 a jar. Whale meat in Norway used to be something mothers used in stews for cheap protein. Now it is both expensive and controversial. Fisher-Price Pika blocks. My sister and I had them as kids, and now that we're older, my sister with her own toddler and myself focusing on work and life with my so, we wanted to get the blocks we had as kids to give to our own. These mother duckers, the blocks, are so expensive now. The complete alphabet set, nearly $500. I remember going to resale stores and flea markets as a kid and finding them for like a quarter. Now depending on where we go, if I even find any, they're often $5 minimum for just 1 or 2 blocks if we're lucky. Concert tickets. Short ribs, oxtails, bone marrow, and flank steak. Hipsters have discovered that the cheap cuts of meat are delicious, and now, what used to be thrown out is in high demand and expensive. Brisket. It's the one of the toughest meats on the cow and it used to be bought solely by poor people. Now it's expensive for some reason. They're not exactly expensive now, but sweets candy, the prices of a single sweet from the sweet shop has increased tenfold. Corned beef and spam. Flat apartments here. Before it was like $70,000 for 60 square meters. Now $1,600,000 for 40 square meters is considered cheap. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.